Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another fun little discussion Yu-Gi-Oh related video, as they always are, on this channel. So I have a pretty interesting video for you guys today. Some breaking, not really breaking news, but some news, I don't want to say it's breaking news, some news we got regarding a new anime that actually has nothing to do with Yu-Gi-Oh, but has something to do with two of the more notable Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, real-life human beings that work on Yu-Gi-Oh! And it is relevant to what's going on in current Yu-Gi-Oh! Days with Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, because the current series composition head is going to be working on another project. Yoshida writes the Arc 5 manga. He is the composition head for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, and now it seems he is taking on another project alongside Katsumi Ono, who was the director of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and the director of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. So these two will be working on a new anime together, and I'm going to go over a little bit about the anime, a little bit about why I think this is kind of relevant, and just tie it all back to the main question: how does this really affect Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains? Because I actually think this is having an effect on Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, and that might be me crazily over-speculating everything, but I will give reasons with facts, as I always try to do. So this was brought to my attention by DMC, the great human being that does all our translations. He tweeted, so apparently Yoshida is working with director Ono on another anime this year on top of the Arc 5 manga and VRains. So the other anime is Izakaya Nobu. I believe that is the name of the anime, and this is what is said. So Katsumi Ono is directing the anime, Shin Yoshida is supervising and writing the series scripts, and Mariko Ito, who worked on Log Horizon, is designing the characters. So first of all, there were a lot of people who were talking about how Katsumi Ono and Shin Yoshida have like a rivalry going on, and when Shin Yoshida in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, there was a point where they called entertainment dueling last gen, and some people I saw were very offended by that and said that it was a low blow at Arc 5, which I thought was a little crazy, and there's a lot of people who maybe I'm just in the conspiracy theory thread a little too much, but there are people who believe Yoshida and Ono have some, personal issue with each other. Clearly that is not the case. They're working on this anime together, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, Shin Yoshida took over the series composition head, I believe it was season 5. Katsumi Ono was the director the entire show of 5Ds, so they worked on season 5 together, which I thought was a season that almost saved 5Ds, because after Dark Signer's arc, the show kind of got stale a little bit for me, and I think for a lot of people, but season 5, I will stand by, it was an amazing season, one of the best seasons of any Yu-Gi-Oh! So Ono and Yoshida really worked well together to pull that show together at the end. And they're going to be working again, and maybe this is a little preview for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. Maybe we'll have a Katsumi Ono Shin Yoshida show, which would be very, very interesting, because I feel like they alternate. Ono did 5Ds in Arc 5. Yoshida was not the director, but he was the series composition writer, writing the scripts for Zexal and VRains, so they've kind of shifted for the last 4 Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows. But anyway, here is what the anime is about, not about card games. The anime will debut this year. The anime's official website describes the anime: Japanese food from another world. Izakaya Nobu is a modest establishment staffed by only 2 people, Master Nobuyuki Yazawa and server Shinobu Senkei. I apologize for butchering these names. Despite its humble appearance, its entrance is mysteriously connected to an ancient city from another world, Atheria. Nobu's patrons consist of lazy palace guards, incognito clergymen, and the Waterworks Guild Master. Certainly not your average clientele. But once they enter Nobu's doors, they are greeted with the finest alcohol they've ever tasted, and dishes the likes of which they've never seen. With the food plentiful and the drinks flowing, the patrons leave their troubles at the door as they call, "Give me a cold ale, master. Welcome, evening." So, I guess this confirms what I've wanted for a while, regards to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7, that we will finally get card games at bars, and the winner gets to slam a glass mug over the loser's head. I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, interesting anime. I might honestly just give it a watch, just because it is Yoshida and Ono, 2 people that have been very, very well known with Yu-Gi-Oh! For the last decade. So it's interesting that they are working on a show together. Now, back to why I think this could relate to VRains. Something that I've noticed a lot is Shin Yoshida is really working on a lot of stuff right? He is the head of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 manga, which is still ongoing and probably will be ongoing for quite a while. He will now be working as a supervisor and writing scripts for this show, which is a brand new show, so I'm sure he's going to want to put a lot of effort into that. And he is the main scripter for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. Now, I think that all of this stuff that he's taking on is actually affecting how often he is writing for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. And, I'll give and of course, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just a fan. I'm just really, to him, a nobody, and I should be a nobody to him, and I'm not trying to say he can't take on all these gigs, and I don't want people to think like, oh, Dylan, why are you saying that he has to work on VRains? He doesn't. He can absolutely do. If he left Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains tomorrow, sure, I'd be upset, but it's his life. He can absolutely do whatever he wants. But here's the thing. So I noticed it's very interesting that whenever we get, a cast list, we always see who's writing the scripts. Yoshida, in the last 16 episodes, has written one episode. He wrote the start of the Playmaker Spectre duel. That was it. Mainly for Spectre's backstory, probably. Before that, we have to go all the way back to episode 21, which was a recap episode that he was the scripter for, which I don't even think that counts because it's a recap. Before then, we have to go back to episode 12. That's right, Yoshida, in the last 25 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, has written one episode. I'm not including the 21 recap. He has written one episode in the last half a year of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, the main series composition writer. And just for reference, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, the first half of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal 1, because they kind of weirdly split that show up for some reason, Yoshida was also the series composition head, the script head. He scripted 30 episodes, more than double anyone else. Tsutomu Kamishiro scripted 14. He was the second most. Yoshida scripted 30 of the 73 episodes for the first half of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. That is almost 50% of the episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. He has scripted one in the last 25 of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. Now, he did script all of the Yusaku Revolver Duel, episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12. I know he did the first episode, and he might have done another one earlier than that, but through 37 episodes, I believe Yoshida has only scripted 7 or 8 episodes, which he should probably be around 15, 16, based on what the work he did for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and based on, usually if you're the head scripter, you script a lot of the episodes. You're scripting about every other episode or every 3 episodes, but in the last 25 episodes, Yoshida, again, not including the recap, has worked on a single episode, which was 35. That is it. So, Yoshida right now is really not having nearly as much of an influence on Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, at least to what we know. He could be really hardcore behind the scenes telling everyone where he wants to go, but he's not getting his hands dirty like he did with Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I guess remains to be seen. I think VRains has been really well. Some people would disagree with that, but I think VRains has been fine. I think it's been a very enjoyable show to this point, and I just think it's interesting that Yoshida, as he keeps taking on all of these gigs, as he's working on the Arc 5 manga alongside Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, and the Arc 5 manga is a monthly release, so obviously he has to focus a lot of time to that, and now he's going to have to focus a lot of time to this other anime, so it's just keep an eye on that. That's all I'm going to say. Yoshida definitely working on not as many episodes as he did as the director, or not as the script director of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. So it's just something to note, and I found that to be very interesting when I did the research, and I noticed that, I wonder if this is the reason why Yoshida is really not as involved in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains as he was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal as the series composition head. But that's just a theory, guys, and of course you guys can leave all your thoughts on this down below, and I think it is really cool that Ono and Yoshida are working on an anime together, and, they both have their pros and their cons. It would be very cool to see them working on Yu-Gi-Oh! 6, and maybe this is them trying to see how the chemistry is between them. This is maybe a bit of a test run for when Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 comes out. Maybe we will see Katsumi Ono as the director of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7, Yoshida as the writer of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we will see what happens there. And hopefully this anime is a success. I wish them the best. And if anyone plans to watch this anime or knew about this anime or read, I think it's based on I don't think it's based on a manga. It's based on a novel, I think. Or maybe it is based on a manga. I'm not sure. Yeah, they launched the novel series in 2012, and it won the site's something contest award. So yeah, I mean, it'll be cool to see how the anime does and how the show is received. So anyway, guys, that pretty much wraps this video up. A little kind of eccentric, odd discussion video, but I still hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will leave all the links to all this stuff down below in the description. So as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Thank you as always for the support. I will talk to you down below, and I hope you have an amazing day.
"しすぎる世界へ」